it's lifelong. So I didn't know that being a class officer was lifelong, like being a parent. So come up here, Sarah. She also used to work with the late Senator Daniel Inouye. If you're going into the airport, down to the new wing, that cool little display in the office, she did that. So, you know, yeah. And she's been working for him she worked for him for
right out of college.
Right out of college. So this is Sarah, she's going to say a few words.
I'm not a public speaker. I'm super nervous. You'd think with being in student government and a government job, I'd be better, but I'm not. So I'm gonna read. When Faith asked me to speak today, my heart actually stopped because I don't like to public speak. I'm also a wimp and I cry, go away. I cry at the simplest of things, like a TV commercial, a sappy Instagram post. Faith offered to let me off the hook, but I told her to honor Sharlene and what she meant to all of us. I'd say a few words. And hopefully the wimping cry inside will be contained, but I do feel tears already. So, Faith, go somewhere I can't see you. I met Faith, Sharlene, and Michelle at the best blue and gold high school ring. The best blue and gold school, Kaiser. I want to share a quote that we actually are using in our upcoming reunion slideshow. Wherever a beautiful soul has been, there are trails of beautiful memories. And we all have those beautiful Sharlene memories. He'll be with us forever. We lost another dear classmate to cancer a few years ago. I thought my heart and my soul would never heal with her no longer in my life, my daily life. However, those beautiful memories of the good times and some of the not so good times have filled my heart and soul with healing love. I used to be sad because I couldn't share things with her, but I learned to just tell her anyway because they can hear us, and that helps. I often thank my angel for looking out for me at those near misses in life. We could all use an extra angel now and then, and now we have another one in Sharlene. I asked a few classmates for the memories of Sharlene from the good old days at Kaiser. Here's what they said. She was always so happy, positive, and friendly. She was so pretty, and I loved her style. And that came from a girl who I thought was one of the prettiest girls in school. She was able to live high school without all the drama. She was quiet, but not. Remember the great laugh that Jason spoke about? And she was always there to help a friend in need. While I didn't see a whole lot of her after high school except at our reunions, I think all of those high school traits continued through the rest of her life. She always brought a smile to your face and a warmth to your heart. I want to end with another quote. The most treasured gifts are the meaningful moments we create with the people we love. They become priceless memories decorating our hearts and our lives. My wish for everyone here, especially Faith and Michelle. Sorry, I looked at you. May those priceless memories you have of the moments with Sharlene help you find peace and heal your broken heart and soul. Sharlene would want us to keep doing our thing like she was still here with us. May today continue to help us all heal and find a little more peace in our hearts. I love you, Sharlene. Still me, okay? Oh, I need to start with the Sarah, I'm not sure. Okay, you know, and so the other part is the way she loved our friends and the way our friends loved her. So we have quite a few of those in the room, especially we have Stephanie and Teresa. We got to spend a lot of time with Sharlene when we would go to our used to be annual beach house weekend at Auntie Laurie's house. And we have Novena and George, who actually, Novena used to work with Olin at Hawaii Information Service.
And so they've been longtime friends, and Sharlene used to go down to the office, and so they know her as well. And we have Renee and Lisa over here in the front, and just all the ways that we connect. And then of course we have Barbara, who's also been around forever, right there, and she probably knows about all of you.
Things we say when we're drunk, yeah, Barbara.
I was laughing, because this is so funny, because when I was in my master's program, my classmates had come to meet my parents and my family. I said, hey, when you go in the door, don't act like you know everything about them, okay? But because that's what happens, you come together and you just kind of merge into each other's lives, and it's been the greatest honor being Sharlene's friend. And I realized that we were so naughty that most of my stories I cannot tell you guys. And you know what? You all want to have a friend like that takes it to the grave, because she took every single secret I ever had. And I was telling somebody there, I said, I have to be careful now. I have to be like, was that a secret? But she was unreal. Every day I miss her. Every day I can't believe I can't talk to her. So
Yes, you can.
yes, I hope I get that. Well, I do talk to her. Sometimes I'd be like, Sharlene, oh, I gotta tell you. Okay, so maybe you're not into this, but I am, so I'm gonna tell you this story anyway. I had to do a slideshow for another service. Michelle and we have so much memorial service, it's not funny. So I had to do a slideshow for another service, but my MacBook had been broken for like 6 months, easy, 6 months. And I was on the verge of dropping, they're expensive, $2,000 for another MacBook. But I got up one morning and I went, Sharlene, the Mac girl. I said, fix my computer, please. I said, I don't want to buy another one. And you know what? If that thing never power up when I went to go turn it on, and I was able to do my stuff. It was just unreal. So, I feel her every day. She talks to me every day with a song. Well, today's song was like something else. So, anyway, I'm just rambling. Michelle, come. Is she back? Nope. Nope, still not.
I won't pop.
Not?
Yes. 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 Sharlene would be mediating this right now. Okay.
Okay.
Number 6.
Number 6. Oh, yeah. Wow. That's a big one, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Here's my tears. Sorry, I couldn't see. Okay, so, who's in the room? This one is, for us, this is big. For me, this is big. So we have some very fine musicians in the room today. And they all are going to come up and honor Sharlene in some way. So the band up here, which is Lance Urillo, Roy Hamada, and Arlene Ivalani. I've been playing with Arlene. I met Arlene in 2007. I met Roy in 1990-something through our other late friend Jamie. And and Lance, just really had the pleasure of playing with him for a while. So just that music. So she loved music, we love making music. And we come together and play together, have a band, and then we separate and do our own thing. But always we come together. We have Sunny Aquino and Maria Alexander. So Maria, Sharlene and I, we go back, way back. We go back because we all took voice lessons, classical kind, like that kind. And Maria is a voice teacher today. And Sunny, I remember when she got the gig with Contrast. I mean, she was coming out of her skin almost as much as when she thought we were going to be stars at Mountain Apple. But she loved that, and she loved gigging with them. And Michelle would go to all the gigs. Like these were like mooses and
Glory days, baby.
yeah, glory days. Yeah. Those are the days where you could write off your stuff on taxes. You could write off your clothes and stuff, but not anymore. But anyway, thank you for being here. They're gonna come up in a little bit. And so the music was huge. She managed to parlay her love for music into a whole career. You know, she really got to do what she loved. So just thank the musicians for being here today. Yeah, and Arlene and I, this is one thing that I want, you know, Sharlene sang with a lot of people, but I will say, after 5, we stopped performing together. Last time we sang together was in 2015, but Sharlene would always say this, she goes, cannot beat the harmonies of After 5. And so if folks have ever had the pleasure of hearing After 5 with Sharlene, you know what we're talking about. I mean, it was just the most natural thing. We just always came together.
Very connected.
Yep. And yeah, you know, I wish I had time to play it for you, but we did this medley of 70s music. That was the best. The harmony was so good on that. Anyway, am I calm now?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. All right. I'm going to come up for a sec. And you guys, please keep eating the plate. We don't mind if you walk around while we're talking. We're used to it.
He's on, you can hear wherever you go.
Okay, I'm going to do a quick introduction here of OG Bessie Colleen Yasuhara. I don't know if I've ever had a harder time and still at the same time been more honored to write something than I was her eulogy. And her eulogy was impossible to write because it would have been like 900 pages. I edited and I mean, the way I write is I dump everything in and then I take out the original document with like 17 pages. And I edited that sucker within an inch of its life. There is not a word in there that is extraneous. And I still don't even know if I really told her story, but I told it the best I could. And I actually had to call her mom because I didn't know the first 11 years of her life. And I knew everything after that. And it was super fun too, because when we were in Seattle, we walked through a lot of our memories and we corrected each other. It was like, no, that wasn't Faith's 30th party, that was her 40th party. Or no, Wendy and Kathy weren't there at the movies, that was Evan and Pam. Like, you know, we would correct each other the whole way, like all our memories. And I was driving here this morning, I was like, Shar, it's all my memories now, because you're not here to correct me. So whatever I say goes now. I said that's the way it was, and that's the way it is. And then I also told her that I promised I'd be a good girl, and so that I could see her in heaven, because there's nothing that's keeping me out of heaven now, knowing she's there, and I know she's there. So anyway, I wrote the eulogy. I can't read it, but it needs to be spoken. There's something so powerful about putting somebody's mana and their voice and their breath behind the words, rather just you reading it on paper. And it's in your programs. Thank you, Nick, for letting me have 10 pages in the program, because there was no way I was getting this up and down to 4. So we asked Colleen if she would put her mana to it, and she graciously agreed. So I'm gonna ask Colleen to come up now and do that. And I still have no shoes.
Sarah, you don't even know. I'm the biggest crybaby. And Michelle was like, yo, do you want to read the eulogy? I'm like, sure. So, normally, well, no, Sarah, you see, what you do is you get one of these, and you stick it right here. But I will promise you that. Let's do that. Okay, so, anyway, let me pull it up. So, aloha everybody. We're here today to celebrate, of course, and honor the life of our dear Sharlene. And she was, like everybody's been saying, truly special. It's so fun to hear all the stories. Today I've heard a lot of them, and it still doesn't get old. So,
It's a privilege really to be here, Michelle. Thank you for the torture. But really it is a privilege, you know, because eulogy is something very special. So thank you. You know, it's bearing witness, right, to her remarkable journey, and of course written by you. But just before I read it, I met Sharlene through Faith and Michelle in 2006. It was a fun time when a bunch of us just got together and hung out and we enjoyed each other's company. They said I actually met her at Faith's 30th party, so they're insisting, but all I remember was I was sweating in the kitchen because Renee dragged me into the kitchen and said, come on, we're cooking. And I don't really remember anything else other than working in the kitchen. But anyways, they are sure, and you know, when she was 30, that was a long, okay, never mind. So, you know, the memory fades, so anyways. But anyway, lots of our get-togethers with Olin and Sharlene and the gang were at my house, and that was, you know, great food and fun and laughter and a lot of games. Eventually, gatherings became much more frequent through the years, but one fun evening more recently, I pretended that I was her server at a fine dining restaurant. And I served her as we celebrated Michelle and Tim's engagement on my lanai during COVID. And she could not stop laughing as I just entertained her with all of my antics. Because you know I brought out all the dishes, the napkins, not paper, yeah, and the crystal and everything onto the lanai. So had lights everywhere and you know whatever. But she was laughing so hard I can still see her till this day. But you know that infectious laugh that we all talk about, and we know it really well. And that's what I still hear. You know, I always love that easygoing personality. So the last day I saw her was the day we picked her up from the airport, and she and Michelle made it through that 3-month stay in Seattle and finally got home. We were all so full of hope for a full recovery after every sign pointed to just that. The scans were clear, everything was perfect, right? So beach house weekends were at Auntie Laurie's place were being discussed. There were plans, there was a time, and then there wasn't. And this is why you should read your stuff ahead of time, Sarah. But anyways, I kind of didn't. Okay, so since then I witnessed the heartbreak of many of you, but not more than Faith and Michelle. I've had the opportunity to witness their love for Sharlene as they plan every single detail of today's celebration. If you look around, there's not one single thing that is not intended. Everything is intentional. And watching these ladies kind of blew me away. I knew their 43 plus years of friendship was special, but in death, as we often see, there's new discovery and rediscovery. These ladies are the keepers of Sharlene's life, witnesses, if you may, as many of you are too. Did you know Sharlene was nominated for a Hoku? So my house is small, yeah, so I hear all the chatter. But I hear them talking in the living room or in Faith's bedroom or what have you. This is what I hear, right? Did you know Sharlene was nominated for a Hoku? This was kind of a rare discovery for them as they spent hours recounting story after story and going through photos and all of their shared memories. What an incredible blessing to have someone bear witness to one's life is what I thought. It was kind of a gift to watch them. So anyway, so you know everything is about artificial intelligence, yeah, right now. ChatGPT, are we all familiar? So I thought, you know what, I'm gonna just put in something, I think the theme of my talk is gonna be a bearing witness about one's life. Let me put something into ChatGPT, and do you know that ChatGPT can give you a eulogy about 6 or 7 paragraphs that are like freaking amazing in about 30 seconds, maybe. I was like, ooh, that's amazing. But anyway, ChatGPT said it best. It says, do you know, it says, bearing witness to someone's life is more than merely observing their triumphs and tribulations. It is about immersing ourselves in their stories, sharing their laughter and tears, and truly understanding the essence of their being. It is an honor bestowed upon us, a front row seat to the grand symphony that unfolds before our eyes. So when we walked in today, you all added your name to the year that you met Sharlene on the board, And that is how long you've been a witness to her life. And without further ado, I'll go ahead and read Michelle's beautiful eulogy, and of course, like you said, it's there for you to take. Born in Honolulu on January 29th, 1966 to Roy Aoki of Kawilo and the former Helen Nakao of Mountain View, Sharlene Masako Aoki went home to Jesus on January 23rd, 2023. Life for the Aoki family began in Kapahulu. Sharlene attended St. Mark's Preschool and learned to read when she was 3 years old. When it was time for her to start kindergarten, she was doing second grade work. So her teacher suggested that Shar, as she was known to everyone, go straight to the first grade. This required testing to see if she was ready, and of course she was, so she entered the first grade at Wilson Elementary School. Shar would later say that she was allowed to skip kindergarten because she finger painted really well. In 1970, the